Dear learners, greetings of the day. Our today's topic to discussion is methods of enzyme immobilization. Myself, Dr. Mahesh Kumar Kataria, Professor Sir G.L. Bihani, ST College of Technical Education, Sri Ganganagar, Rajasthan. After completion of this video, you will be able to learn about the techniques of immobilization. You will further be able to understand the technology of marketed products based on these techniques, and you will be able to design your experiments based on these techniques in your laboratory. To understand enzyme immobilization, we must go through the definition of enzyme. As we all know, basically enzymes are the proteins which accelerate the chemical reactions without being consumed. Right? They convert substrate into different molecule. Neither they are consumed nor they are produced in the reaction. So, what's there traditionally enzymes are being used? They are used as pre-solutions. They react with substrate, results into product. Such use of enzyme is wasteful, because we cannot recover this enzyme from the reaction. Whereas one way we are claiming that enzyme neither they are consumed, but another side we are wasting our enzyme in the reaction substance. Then the concept immobilized came into the existence. The technique of confining or anchoring the enzymes either in or on an inert support, that is also called substrate, for their stability and functional use. Means once enzyme is immobilized on or in the surface, it can be effectively reused. Again, because of this application, it becomes cost effective also. Here the reflection spot arise. Question to the learners that how enzyme immobilization can be done and how it reduces the cost of the products based on enzymatic reactions. Just think over that, write whatever you can think, then further it will be explained in the coming slides. Okay, why to immobilize enzyme? We must know the importance, right? Reuse of enzyme for many reaction cycling that lower the production requirement, total production requirement of the enzyme. Low cost of enzyme mediated reaction as enzyme are being reused. Easy separation of enzyme from the product because they are either in or on the surface. They can easily be separated from the reaction mixture. Once enzyme is anchored on certain surfaces, so we can have the ability to stop the reaction by removing enzyme from the reaction solution. And once more, that product is not contaminated with the enzyme, as enzyme is separated after the reactions. Characteristics of this particular immobilization of enzyme. There are two major characteristics. Number first, safe homing, means after immobilization we can easily separate enzyme from the reaction, that is called safe homing. Then comes another characteristics importance is reusability, because only safe homing is not the objective. The separated enzyme or immobilized enzyme have the capability to be reused. So we can use it again and again in several reactions without wasting the activity of the enzyme. So these are two major characteristics, safe homing and reusability. So there are two major enzyme immobilization techniques. Number first, as we earlier discussed in previous slide, either enzyme can be immobilized on the surface or in the surface. So there are two major categories. Number first, on the surface enzyme immobilization, and number two, within surface enzyme immobilization. On the surface enzyme immobilization, there are further three types of methods that can be used to immobilize. Number one, covalent binding. Number two, adsorption. Number three, complexation and chelation. Within surface method enzyme immobilization, this can be further classified into two parts, either entrapment of enzyme or encapsulation of enzyme. So there are two major techniques, on the surface enzyme immobilization and within surface enzyme immobilization. So first, on the surface immobilization, as we discussed, there are three major techniques for on the surface immobilization. Coming to the number first, that is covalent binding. What is happening there in covalent binding? Support or substrate is attached with enzyme due to the covalent bond. Means a support and enzyme are bound with each other due to certain covalent bond. So binding is the basic principle in covalent binding method. This covalent binding needs some essential functional groups to be present on enzyme, which are not required for enzymatic activity. So we can say the inactive group of enzyme shall be there to bind with the support, so that the activity of enzyme is not affected. The support to be used must be non-toxic, non-reactive, inert and stable at the specific pH temperature required for the activities of enzyme. What functional groups are there available with enzyme? Like amino group, carboxylic group, phenolic group, sulfohydryl group, thiol group, imidazole group, indole group and hydroxyl group. These are certain functional groups which are available with enzyme that have the property to bind with support. The functional group available with support, like they may have hydroxyl group, support may have amino group, carboxylic group, phenolic group, thiol group, etc., which are available to bind with enzyme. So there are different methods of covalent bonding are, like there may occur diazotization, that is bonding between the amino group of the support, like aminobenzyl cellulose, aminoside porous class. These are the supports, and a tyrosyl or histidyl group of enzyme, right? If a histidyl group of enzyme is there and aminobenzyl cellulose having amino groups, there may occur diazotization. Another method of covalent binding is formation of peptide bonds, like bond formed between the amino and carboxylic group of support and amino or carboxylic group of enzyme. Another type of bonding may be their group activation and coupling reaction. These reactions are required when enzyme and support both don't have a functional group which directly react and form covalent bonding. In such cases, we can modify our support. We can modify our support by using cyanogen bromide, like here it is mentioned, use of cyanogen bromide to a support containing glycol group like cellulose. Once cyanogen bromide activation is being done, then the enzyme will certainly react with, bind with this support. Polyfunctional reagents, like use of bifunctional or multifunctional reagent like glutaraldehyde, which is having aldehyde group at both ends. One end can be bind with amino group of the support and another end can bind with the amino group of the enzyme. Adsorption. This is simple physical adsorption. Enzyme attached with support due to the van der Waals forces or ionic forces or coordinated bonded. These are weak bonds instead of that covalent coupling we have studied. Earlier we have discussed that covalent coupling reaction. Here what I have, simple mixing of the enzyme with suitable adsorbent under appropriate conditions like pH and strength, etc. Leave it for certain period of time. Your enzyme will get bound with the support without the use of specific reactions. Adsorbent may be ion exchange matrices, कोई Another porous carbon may be used, clay, hydrous metal oxide, glasses, polymeric aromatic resins that can be used as adsorbent. Methods of immobilization by adsorption. There are four major techniques. Number one, static process. Static, as name suggests, enzyme is simply kept in intimate contact with carrier in certain solution. Leave it for a certain period of time. The enzyme will get immobilized on the surface. It is static process. Dynamic process. It involves intermittent stirring of mixture of enzyme and carrier. So it is comparatively fast process than static process. Reactor loading process. This is also called commercial process, where enzyme and carrier or support is kept together in certain reactor or fermenter. Means at large scale, when abundant quantity of enzyme to be immobilized, this method can be used. Electrodeposition technique. Electrodeposition technique name suggests here carrier is placed in the vicinity of one of the electrode in an enzyme bath and electric current is applied, which leads to the migration of enzyme toward the carrier. So that process is called as electrodeposition. Third method of on the surface is complexation and chelation. Here simply like titanium and zirconium metals are used, which leads to the metal link immobilization. Transition metal, because they are non-toxic, they are no anymore have their specific reactivity, they are better used as complexation and chelation agent. This is another method to immobilize enzyme on the surface. This figure illustrates that how titanium and zirconium are being attached and how they can further attach enzyme with them. Next comes within surface immobilization. Within surface there are two methods, entrapment and encapsulation. Entrapment means simply entrapment of enzyme in the matrix or support. Most of the time these are the gel which entraps the enzyme, like inclusion of gel, like in situ polyacrylamide gel can be used, like urethane can be used, gelatin can be used. These are the gels which entrap enzyme between it. Then certain fibrous material like hydrogel can be used, which also entrap enzyme between it. Then comes encapsulation, second method of on the surface, within surface enzyme immobilization. Encapsulation, as the speaker suggests, enzyme is entrapped between gel and another side is enzyme is encapsulate. Encapsulate means to say the enzyme act as a core material and the surface act as a coating material. Formation of spherical particle, these are also called as microcapsule or beads, in which enzyme is closed within a semi-permeable polymeric membrane. What happens? How enzyme reacts? Like substrate enter into this polymeric membrane, semi-permeable, reacts with enzyme converts substrate into product, and product is being released from the surface, whereas enzyme always remain in this coating material. Methods of encapsulation, how it is encapsulated, like first we prepare sodium alginate aqueous solution, for most of the time it is 3%. Enzyme is dispersed into this and drop wise with the help of needle this sodium alginate suspension is transferred into high concentration calcium containing beaker, where it is simultaneously shaked and drop wise sodium alginate suspension is being delivered into this. What happens? As soon as sodium alginate comes in contact with calcium, it gets converted into calcium alginate, as calcium is having greater affinity than sodium to alginate. And calcium alginate being water insoluble, it gets precipitated into this solution, which leads to the formation of beads. Thus, a bead contains enzyme inside it. These are the references being used to prepare this slide. Thank you very much.